We all know fitness is important, but what if your workout involved defying gravity and embracing elegance at the same time? Well, that's the world of a pole and aerial artist. But wait, what is pole and aerial art? And how does someone start with something like this? Let's talk to one person who owns this space, Zakwana Bagban. Welcome to HRX Zakwana.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
You're most welcome, and how are you feeling?
Great, excited.
Zakwana, I'll get straight to the topic. What you do is extremely unique and niche. But before we get into that, can you explain what pole and aerial art is?
Sure. So pole dancing, it's a form of an art form. It is gymnastics, it is athleticism. There are routines, there are multiple types of pole dancing as well. There's exotic style, there's more athletic style, there are fitness workouts related to pole dancing, all of that. And aerial is anything that you do up in the air. So even if it is hanging on silks, if it is a ring, if it is straps, hanging on the hair, all of that goes into aerial.
You said hanging on the hair.
Yes.
How does that even work?
You tie your hair and there's a carabiner and you just hang through your hair.
What do you use in a hair to keep it intact after that?
Just the muscles in the neck and all of that.
Wow, so that involves that.
Yeah.
So that brings me to the the question that I'm most curious about. How did you get into it?
It was pretty random, to be honest. Like, I just went to a dance class and they had an aerial workshop. I just tried that workshop to see what it is. Honestly, at that point, I didn't even enjoy it that much. But when I moved to Bombay, I tried a couple more aerial lessons here and there. And slowly, when I started building strength, I realized that this form was so empowering for me to just like slowly see that a girl who cannot do a single push-up, now I can do 10, 20, to see that change in the body.
Right.
So yeah, it started very randomly and then slowly it got really serious.
And how long have you been doing this now?
It's been 8 years.
8 years since you've been into. And then the aerial art then translated into pole form of art too. Okay.
Exactly. It's been 8 years for aerial.
Right.
And then I think 4 to 5 years for pole. Yeah.
So if, now that you've been into this almost for a decade, if there is somebody new to this art and has seen you do it and wants to start, what could be that person's starting point?
Honestly, right now it's so much more easier to get into aerial or to get into pole compared to 8 years ago where there was nobody teaching.
Right.
But right now I would say just sign up for a class.
Okay.
I would not suggest to like try it by yourself without the expert guiding you because of course it is risky and here you risk your life. So I would say go to a professional, just like search it on Google. You will find many classes around you, if not many, just one. And just go for a class, see, and then slowly research about it.
They can always find you too.
Yes, if you're in Bombay, you can find me.
So, but you mentioned that while to start something like this, you may need a coach. But is there some part of it that you can also do it at home once you've started training? 100%. Or do you need also a pole at home?
No, 100%. You can do so many exercises on the floor. I personally prefer having a bar, like a pull-up bar, because it's so easy to set up. And just doing conditioning on that, like dead hangs, shoulder shrugs, pull-ups if you can, resistance band pull-ups, knee tucks, core conditioning, all of that. Hanging stuff will help you with pole and aerial. So you don't need a pole or aerial silk setup to train it. You can train on the floor. You can work on your flexibility on the floor and then prepare yourself.
Right. So I was going to ask you this a bit later, but because you've mentioned the word so many times, strength, you know, how important is strength training to what you do?
Honestly, to start, it is not important, I would say. When you get into your first class, it is not important for you to have a lot of strength. You can start from wherever you are. But as you get into it, you will feel soreness. You will feel your muscles are working. You will feel that you're building strength. So just by training pole and aerial, you can build strength. However, since you don't have access to it the entire week, you can train on the floor and then help yourself on the silks and pole.
But it some way is important to the fundamentally for you to have some amount of strength to be able to do what you do.
Yes, but not to start.
Not to start.
Yes, you can start at whatever level,
Right.
increase your strength over time, and you will see that more advanced stuff, of course, is a lot of strength heavy stuff.
Yeah.
Because you're working with your body weight, you're
Yeah,
trying to
yeah.
lift yourself up, you're working against gravity.
Yeah.
Every single time. Just try doing a jump. You will feel that the gravity will pull you down, like
Correct.
in a second, not even a second, it just pulls you down.
Yeah.
So like to be able to climb, to work against gravity for like 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, yeah, you need some
Yeah,
strength.
but so while we are on the topic, we did a quick dipstick especially amongst women, on what do they think about strength training or weight training in general. And one of the common responses that we still get in 2024 is that strength training can make them bulky or can make them look manly.
Okay.
What's your thought on that?
I would say I wish building muscle was that easy.
I agree.
I wish it was that easy that you would just go to the gym and you're buffed.
Yeah.
It would save a lot of people a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
But that's not the truth.
Yeah.
You know, like building strength, having muscles as well. I don't know why, you know, women think that it's such a manly thing. Having muscles is feminine. I don't know if
Yeah.
I can curse here, but like
We'll beat that, don't worry.
it is feminine to have muscles, to build strength. You don't have to, like, you know, no.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, I think just building strength is
Yeah.
so important for women. And having muscles as well, it's not manly. To be able to lift your weight, to be able to move your body, doing your everyday life and having that kind of strength is truly very empowering. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so you would suggest that women too.
100%. Coming from a girl who couldn't do push-up, I was very skinny. I had no muscle, nothing, no core strength. And coming from that to now being able to do pull-ups and this and that, handstands, inversions, all of that, the entire journey is so empowering
Yeah.
that I would suggest it to all women just to get into it. Trying it in the beginning, it's very overwhelming, especially for women. Like, it's a long journey. Just to get one push-up, it takes everything out of you. And
Yeah.
I've seen so many of my clients are so embarrassed to
Yeah,
start.
yeah.
Because like, Zach, it's so bad, it's so bad. But it's okay. You start somewhere, build it up slowly, 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 get stronger.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's the embarrassment of not being strong already.
Yeah, I think if one just starts to believe that it's only difficult at the start, because once you get going, it only becomes easier as you
100%.
progress. So I think also the chain of thought here is that if you don't start, you'll never really achieve what you want to achieve. So I think the
100%.
message is clear that you need to start, even if it is embarrassing at the beginning.
100%.
Yeah. And I also feel that the fitness community is one of the most, I would say, supportive communities out there. So
True.
if you're someone who's a little, let's say, embarrassed about starting something, there will be people around you who will support you in becoming better at that. So I think that's the message that I want a lot of people to hear. I Googled pole dancing and I Googled pole art in order to understand what can we talk about.
Okay.
And one of the first things that Google says is that it uses the word what you use, exotic form of dancing from the West. Does what you do come with a certain stigma from the society, from the people of what you do?
100%. 100%. Just the entire fact that pole dancing is exotic. But at the same time, of course, it came from the strip clubs. There's no shame in that.
Right.
All right. But I use it as a form of expression. As a form of expression to express my sensual side or express my freedom. Okay.
Right.
And for a woman to do that,
Yeah.
the society is never happy about that. So, yeah, there is a lot of stigma and people are not happy, but that should not stop us.
How do you handle it?
I don't care. I'm busy training. I'm
Right.
busy dancing. I'm busy training. So,
Are there guys also doing pole dancing?
100%. I was just
There
telling
are.
it to you earlier.
Yeah.
Men as well do pole dancing. Some of them prefer a much more sporty style. They do gymnastics, they do backflips, they do really heavy stuff, like calisthenics.
Right.
Like doing flags, stuff like that. So that as well looks super cool when men do pole dancing. They're flying off the pole here and there, which is very popular, I think, in Russia.
Yeah.
And now it's getting more popular in Europe and everywhere else. But for sure, men do pole dancing and they kill it.
So, the societal problems, this is something that your students may also be facing. So, is
Yeah.
there certain level of resistance that you see in people who aspire to be you, but they don't want to really come and start?
Yes, I find it all the time, especially like, so there are two kinds of pole dancing, right? One is the tricks, which is more athletic.
Yeah.
And the second one is more dancing, which is more expression and all of that. So
Yeah.
people are more scared to come to the expression class.
Yeah.
Why is that? Because just to express, to find that safe environment and just to express yourself is just so difficult.
Yeah.
So I always say that you just have to step into the studio and then everything else is my job to get you there.
Yeah.
And to make you feel okay in your own skin. But yeah, there's a lot of hesitation,
And is this something that you can also, let's say the theory part or at least the knowledge part, is this something that you can impart virtually, or does somebody need to be at a center or at a studio to learn this?
No, for sure. Like you can learn it virtually. There are so many tools online as well. You can listen to podcasts. There are so many podcasts related to pole dancing, related to aerial.
One of them is going to be this.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you have so much in already in terms of content
Yeah.
to look. Like you can literally like be like, today I want to learn aerial silks and just research and you will find so much information online.
It's
So
out
we
there.
can really use it to our advantage, you know.
And while you were on this journey, or you're still on this journey, what is the biggest hurdle that you face? We already discussed stigma. I don't know if that's been a hurdle to you.
Yeah.
But then apart from that, what's your biggest hurdle?
As I said, I don't care about the stigma so much, and I wouldn't call what happened to me a hurdle as well. But I think only in the beginning, the very, very beginning, when I started, learning and when I started teaching in my family personally. And I think it's a lot of families as well. So some girls might relate to this, that women are just meant for the kitchen. This is something that I've grown up with. And I was not allowed to go to college. It was not a personal choice, but I was not allowed to go to college. But
In
I
your
know-
case?
Yes.
Okay.
But I didn't fight about it because it's okay. Like, anyways, I didn't want it to study. It's fine. It works in my favor. And then I slowly got into dancing. That was okay because, it's a hobby. It is not a threat for other people, And then I started getting into aerial. I started getting performances. And slowly, my family saw that, okay, things are getting real. She's getting money out of this. And that too, like, people are having respect. They see the hard work behind it. And organically their mindset changed over
Right.
the years. I'm not saying that it happened in a week.
Yeah.
It happened over the years when they saw me working every day and slowly getting a little bit of money. And then now, like after 8 years, they see how big it is.
Yeah.
And representing our country in the international scene and everything. So now they understand how big it can be and it's no longer a problem.
Right.
But yes, in the beginning it was a little bit, I would say, difficult.
Yeah, I'm sure. You mentioned competitions. Where are these competitions happening?
All over the world.
And does India also host one?
Not yet. Not
Okay.
yet. I think Indian scene is still very young,
Yeah.
considering that right now there hardly anybody competing internationally. So I think we will take a couple of years to build that, but everywhere around India there are so many competitions happening, and yeah, you can compete and you can represent India.
So this you get to represent the country at these events.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So recently, this year, in April, I represented India.
Where was this?
This was in Bali.
Okay.
And I think I'm the first Indian representing India in an international competition. And it was really something. It was amazing. Yeah.
That would be a very different feeling.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, for sure.
So while we are talking about strength training and your the pole art in general, fitness is at the core of everything that is, right?
100%.
But physical fitness is not the only form of fitness, right? What are the other things that you do to keep your mind healthy as well, mind and body both healthy
Yeah.
at the same time?
I think the power of mind is way too much. Your mind gives up before your body. This is something that I believe in. So having
Right.
a strong mindset is very important. Now, how do you achieve it,
Yeah.
right? That's the big question. I think we need to change the idea that fitness is exhausting, it is tiring. Oh my God, now I have to go train. Rather than taking that hour as a form of self-love,
Right.
that, oh, I work for somebody else for 7 hours in a day, 8 hours in a day, I'm with my family. Now, this 1 hour is for me. I'm gonna move my body. It is my hour of self-love. The moment we start celebrating movement,
Right.
I think everything changes. You are excited to go to your workouts. And that way you show up more.
Right.
And in this time, I think we have so many different kinds of workouts as well.
Absolutely,
Like you can
yes.
do Pilates, you can do aerial, you can do strength training, you can do CrossFit, calisthenics, this, that. So many options. So yeah, just pick one. If you're bored with one, pick something else.
do something
and then
else,
keep
yeah.
on moving, keep
Yeah.
on going, right?
Yeah, and I think with the process of trying out different things is when you'll realize what works for you, and hence you make a mix of things that you do week in and week out, and hence a regiment of sorts gets built for you. right?
100%.
What's your current workout split like?
Current, it's a mess because since it's raining so much, all I do is I train all day. So I'm training like 2 sessions in a day or 3 sessions in a day.
But this is you training other people, right?
no,
Or
myself.
this is your training?
Myself.
2 sessions a day, 3 sessions a day. Okay.
Yeah, because there's nothing else to do. There's nothing better to do right now.
Right.
So I train strength 3 times in a week.
Right.
So I'm doing pull day, one day leg day, and one day push. Then I work on flexibility 3 times in a week. One day side splits, one day middle splits, and one day back bends. And then I train, I'm currently training for a competition. So I
Okay.
do that like 2 hours in a day, which is more pole.
Right.
And then sometimes here and there I have to just prep for the classes and stuff. So I do that. So.
While we were on the topic of doing things to keep yourself mentally fit, what are your tips and tricks to keep yourself motivated? And I'm sure there were moments in your life where you sort of gave up or were on the verge of giving up,
Okay.
or probably stopped. How did you restart if you did?
I think you can't be motivated all the time. Like that would be unrealistic. Like not all days are the same. Some days you have the motivation to train for like 6 hours maybe.
Yeah.
And some days you just don't want to get out of bed. And that's completely okay. We should not put shame on ourselves for
Right.
that. However, if we are disciplined enough, if it is a part of your routine, like, every day you wake up, you brush your teeth. Do you
Yeah.
go like, today I'm not feeling like it?
Yeah.
Like, today I don't want to do it. No, you do it because it's a habit. You eat
Correct.
every day, right? So taking training as like something that you do every day rather than, oh my God, I have to train,
Yeah.
that helps a lot. And then when you are on a break, because of course your life is not linear, okay? Your life is changing, your priorities change. Maybe, you're traveling, there is something else that took over and you couldn't train for a bit,
Yeah.
which happens all the time with me as well. To restart, I generally start slow. Something as simple as making sure I drink enough water. And then looking a little bit at my diet. Am I eating properly?
That's not
Then-
not a bad trick at all.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then just going for a walk.
Yeah.
And then from next day, maybe stretch a little bit. Start slowly rather than, like go all in and then be sore for another week and then everything is gone and the world is on fire and now you can't restart. Start slowly.
Yeah, because I think we go in with all-in approach and make it difficult for ourselves,
Yes.
rather than just break it down, make it a bit simpler, and do it every day.
Yes.
Maybe the smaller things, like you said, even drinking water could be a great starting point. Just track how much water you're having and fix that, and
Yes.
that could be a good starting point. Yeah.
100%.
So that's your mantra. One final thing, Zakwana, with all this that goes on in your life, with your profession, your work, the training, your personal life, what's your one mantra to keep going?
As I said, I love movement. Like I love the feeling that you get, like, to move freely, to be in control of your body. I
Yeah.
love that. So I would keep on chasing that.
Yeah.
I would keep on doing that. So it's an everyday thing rather than just like something that you do for a brief while. It's like a lifestyle.
Yeah.
So once you change that switch, you just keep on going. You don't need anything else. You just keep on going.
Right.
Yeah.
And one message for all the women out there, all the girls out there, and boys and men out there who want to get into the art of pole dancing or aerial and still haven't started. One message for them.
Just sign up for a class. And it's the instructor's responsibility to make you feel how empowering it is.
Yeah.
But for you, you just have to show up. And then everything else, like, it will
Falls
change
into
your
place.
life.
Yeah.
I would like to say that. Yeah, for sure.
But can somebody, let's say, like me, do it?
100%.
Because I believe I can break the pole.
No. It can take a lot of weight.
Right,
So
okay.
the equipments are super strong, and men can do it, women can do it, women who think they have zero strength can do it, kids can do it. It's for everybody.
For everybody.
Yes.
Cool. Any last parting message that you want to give?
Yeah, this is for the women.
Yeah.
Let's start celebrating our bodies. Let's not have so much shame behind it. Let's start to prioritize ourselves,
Right.
our body as well, because you're going to be living in it all your life.
Yeah.
Yeah, just that. And just take it as a celebration and not like a chore.
Thank you so much for that message.
You're
I also
welcome.
take it as a learning for me. And thank you so much for coming to this podcast with HRX. A lot that we take away from here. And we'll hope to see you again soon.